I'm kind of surprised because like my high days are high again. Can't
How high
believe.
is mine? Like, is it substantially more food than what you're used to?
Yeah, well, my normal cream of rice portions right now are either 65 or 55. I have two that are 65 and one that's 55, and that's been bumped
Okay.
to 85. And then rice is like 240 up from 160,
Okay.
which is a lot for me. I know it's not
No,
a lot.
you will feel the difference though. You can still see like in terms of the volume of the food, it's
Yeah,
substantial.
yeah. And I'm not a big eater. So it's like the first meal is fun. And then like from there, it's just like, do I really have to eat all this?
You'll get used to it. Like I find that when you break it
No.
up, and you might feel the appetite start to open up actually after the high day.
Last time I kind of did, yeah. And I do feel, I don't know what it is, but I do feel recently I've been having a much easier time with food. The last high day was definitely like a struggle bus, but the food, I don't know, it's one thing that I don't get used to. I've always just been like such a small eater.
Okay, like since you were a kid, small
Yeah,
eater.
yeah.
Okay, which is why probably like like you're not someone who's like particularly food focused.
Yeah, yeah, I think, like, I've always just wanted to be more of, like, a grazer than anything, like, "Oh, I'll just have a little bite of this and a little
Yeah,
bite of that," and
yeah, I'm the same way.
yeah,
Well, I find that when I get like increments in food, I will take like maybe like after 2 days, then it gets better, and
yeah.
the body will kind of like adjust. Have you ever come to a point where you just don't want to eat anymore?
Oh, yeah. Not this off season, surprisingly, but, like, he fed me up a lot last
Like,
year,
yeah.
um, and, like, I feel you know what the worst one is? I feel like the worst time I've ever had with food is, like, my very first push up with my first coach, which admittedly, like, we probably got a little too fat. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. I
And
was
I
getting tea.
probably huh?
I was getting tea. I was like, I need tea or something.
And anyway, we probably didn't need to eat as much as I did, but we did.
I
And
think
Talking
all of
about
us.
currently.
we're talking about like eating a bunch of food when you first like push for size, or even just we
Oh,
started talking about high days, but
mm, I got so fat the first few times, so I'm a good one to talk to about that. Uh,
I feel like a lot of us did. But
I know, but like, I feel like girls sometimes you don't, and I definitely did.
I think it kind of
Slightly
depends on
embarrassed.
I think it
Yeah.
depends on like there's like two different coaching perspectives, and I think some of them like to keep girls like tight and trim, which honestly in hindsight like has definitely some
Yeah,
merit to it, but we went the route
yeah,
we went, and I definitely landed with a coach who was like, "Let's go, let's be a big
Well, so
girls."
I find this to be the case with maybe like the bikini division.
Hmm.
But I think it also depends how far a person actually needs to grow. So, for example, maybe for certain individuals who are trying to make weight, especially the men, you can't let them like. Some people are just born to grow, so you
Hmm.
just can't really like feed them too much. Yeah, if not, like it's gonna be really hard to suck them down, or like they don't actually need to grow, so you don't actually need to like push food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like the first time or two, like unless you're like bikini division and don't really need to push for that size, I feel like if you're like figure
that's a good
wellness
point.
and up,
yeah,
you kind of got to deal with being a little uncomfortable at some
yeah.
point.
Yeah, I guess I'm always kind of assuming too, not bikini in the smaller divisions. I'm never thinking about them when I'm talking about fish faces. So you're right. You're right.
But I guess it's all relative too, because like they still need size. So on their little frame, pushing up
Yeah. But a
20, 30.
cute like 10, 15 pounds
Yeah,
is probably sufficient.
yeah. And
And
to
I
them,
have
it's
gotten
like a
fat.
lot.
I've gotten fat before in my first off season, and this
You
was
too.
before adjusting with my previous
I
coach.
don't
Yeah,
believe you,
I
but
was gonna say I need pictures.
I
yeah.
don't
I
believe
will,
you.
I will send you picture.
Send pictures, because otherwise I'm like, okay.
No, I will send pictures for sure. even with Justin, I think the off season before my previous pro debut, I did push quite a fair bit. Sometimes I wonder, do we actually need to go that far? Arguably, maybe yes, maybe no. But I do think with maybe my body type, some people do actually have to like push beyond that very comfortable range.
Yeah.
I think with men, sometimes it's a bit more clear cut, where like if you just can't see their abs and
Yeah.
they look a bit sloppy, then yeah, maybe you don't actually need to push food because the food is already high enough. Then anymore, it's just gonna get fat. But I think with ladies, it's always very tricky because the same girl can look different at the same body fat.
Yeah, and we also tend to, I think, where we carry our fat is much different than men, like you mentioned, like with the abs, but even just female to female, like I know my abs are the first thing to go. And then I see some of these girls that it's like they pull the trigger to get lean and the abs are the first thing to come in. And it kind of gives the illusion of being super lean. And then you break it down and it's like, well, there's not really lines anywhere else. Whereas I still have a decent amount of like lines through my back and even very faint quad lines, but I don't have an ab in sight, so.
No, you do me too. Like it's I notice it too with it's not really smaller girls per se, but I think it has to be genetic. Because I feel like every prep's been different too. Like labs the last thing for me to come in, I think this last time, kind of sort of. And then I still kind of kept him for a good chunk of time here, which is the first time I've kept him for this long.
Yeah.
But when I say that, it's real loose. It's
Oh, please.
I don't know if you have you seen are you on the brain rot side of TikTok where they have like I brought a 6-pack though, like to a party and they like lift up their shirt and they have like a little bit of like some kind of ab development. And these girls, if you have a time, a few of them have trickled across my page and it's you maybe see the top two like ever so slightly. So in those confines, I do have abs still, but in the confines of bodybuilding, not really.
That reminds me because when I was on the TikTok side that I'm on, everyone's going crazy goo goo gaga over Morgan Wallen in a tank top. They're like, oh my God, he's jacked. So I'm like, let me see. And I pull up and I'm just like, this is a normal man.
Yeah.
Dare I say woman.
I love Morgan Wallen. No Morgan Wallen slander, but
I know.
He's not packing anything. Ladies.
Say that man's muscular. I had to log off after I saw one of the videos.
You saw it too?
I've seen one or two, and after that, I quickly scrolled, hoping I wouldn't get any more.
Oh, see, I love the Morgan Wallen videos, but he's not.
His music's good. It's the calling him jacked that I'm not gonna stand for on my feed.
I was shocked. I was like, really, ladies? Anyway,
he's a tiny, teeny little guy.
I know, just a little peanut. But
yeah, like we could wear a cutoff and it'd be the same thing.
The bigger, probably.
Honestly, yeah. Like, so think about it that way. Then it's kind of like, ooh, gross. Ooh, gross.
Where's my mouse? Anyway, I
doesn't cut it.
Huh?
He doesn't cut it like the coffee does.
I'm
trying to go on an adrenal break.
Are you? You know what's funny is I think sometimes my body.
I was about the coffee. Why is it tea and not coffee this morning?
I'm taking a break from the caffeine.
Not even the caffeine.
Nope. I'm taking a gut harmony. Tea. So yeah, just a nice little TMI. But since we're all girls here, I did start my lady that visits me once a month. And, and I decided this is also a good time to have an adrenal break also. Yeah. Just with like hormones and everything after, because we started me and Jess started our like our break from everything, like a reset again, or at least I did. Yeah. So I'm also doing a caffeine reset.
I've been thinking I should do that too. And I think sometimes like my body almost wants to naturally do that, because normally I'm just like coffee. And I've noticed lately, these past few days, I'm kind of like, I'll have my morning coffee and then the rest of the day I'm like, I'm okay. But I go through these phases, and I think sometimes it's my body just naturally being like, bitch, like let's relax here.
Yeah.
I just like the taste though, but
Yeah, well, Nespresso fortunately now makes a decaf double
Yes, it
espresso. So I really just need to stock up on those because it still tastes good. It's just like an illusion. I need to like have that.
taste.
I have
Yeah,
decaf. I don't know why I didn't think.
yeah,
Mm, it's okay. I'll make a decaf maybe for later and I'll gaslight myself into the
yeah,
fact that we're getting caffeine, but it's like day 3.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
day three is where it kind of. But if you've got, I think if you've got something like enjoyable, like sometimes I'll enjoy
A tea.
a sugar-free Arnold Palmer as a nice refreshing drink,
I
and
got
that'll.
Crystal Light. It's just not the
But,
same.
but remember, we don't drink coffee for caffeine. It's all taste. So
Yeah, it's all taste. That's why I'm wondering, like maybe sometimes it's not the caffeine that we need. Sometimes it's just like the taste of the coffee.
yeah, something cold. At least that's what it is for me. Like after I get done training, I just want something cold and refreshing, and my brain tells me it's coffee that I need.
Yeah,
I
understand
think I
that.
like the caffeine just a little bit. At least for like fasted, because I still do fasted.
Okay.
That's the hard time to not have it. And I've just been having
Yeah.
my water with
Yeah.
like my carnitine and whatever. And I'm like, this is boring.
I'm sorry.
How
It's
much
okay.
carnitine are you doing?
30 minutes.
No, how much carnitine are you doing?
Oh, 1,000 milligrams.
Okay, yeah, that
Oral.
would very of it. Justin, if you're watching this, like Justin, don't watch this, but I'll just say like
You won't watch it in detail.
2,000.
All he's going to watch is the cute little snippets that we put out.
Oral or injectable?
This one's oral,
Then-
but I want to switch to injectable. I just
okay.
have so much of it still
Yeah.
that from last time we talked about it, I want to switch to injectable after this.
Yeah.
So
No, you gotta
testable.
try the injectable. I find that it's like world of a difference for myself.
I think it'll make a huge difference. I just have so much of it, and I'm one of those people that's like, I want to use what I have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I
You
bought
can
it
do
like
both.
in bulk during prep.
Oh yeah.
So,
You can do both though.
you right?
You
You're
can do
right.
both. Yeah.
Maybe I'll do both.
Because I found that it's helped a lot with the body composition side of things. As well.
That's all we're doing is like a little recompy thing. I say that, but then my lady who visits me once a month really threw off my check-in this week. So
Yeah, I don't think a little extra oral carnitine is gonna hurt anybody.
no, it won't. We could use it. You're right. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Just like I didn't think about having decaf coffee this morning.
I think as long as like it doesn't give you the GI issues, I think that's usually the case with the oral carnitine that people get.
You're
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
I don't notice anything with this one, but good to know. Good to know. I've used it since I used it in prep too, the oral one. So
If it works, it works.
we at that point, I'm not sure if that one worked because you're doing God knows what else. But,
Yeah.
but
Probably the one that's doing most of the heavy lifting, but
I was like, I'm sure the other things were doing most of the stuff, but it would have been more beneficial probably to use injectable. That was just one more thing to do at that point.
Those
And
injections hurt.
Well, yeah, I was like, I'm tiny and small, and I don't want to. One more pinprick, it just felt like it would do me in.
And those ones hurt. Those ones
Like,
hurt. I'm not gonna lie to
It's
you.
the same like the
Really?
injectable carnitine, it hurts you. Like the pin.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you do is you try adding some bacteriostatic water to mix it.
Oh. Okay.
Dilute it. Yeah.
Oh. It's like it's not even that the injection hurts, Haley, but it's
I
like
was gonna say it's the actual solution.
it's like a muscle ache that
Yeah.
won't go away.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I put it in
It's
my pot today and I kind of like regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So just be aware of it. Like if you do it the first time, you don't have a bad shot. It just hurts.
I mean, that's okay. I don't do a quad though. Congratulations. Tanya. I did a quad injection, I think, one time, and I was like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
And I thought I did a good job too. Like I, sat down and did it, and because that just seems too easy, being able to sit down and do something like that, and it was.
But I think
I
this
was
tends to happen a lot if, let's say, it's a virgin muscle that you've never done before, then it's most likely going to pip because it's not used to expanding when you have fluid in there. So that's what I've noticed. And I guess it depends on where in the quad you're putting it. If you put it in the center quad, then that's usually where you're gonna get a lot of nerves. So usually I tell people like a bit higher up. If you have like one thumb below like your like where your hip flexor is and to the upper range of the quad, I think that's where it's ideal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say I think what I do is I divide my leg into 4. And then how I describe it, it's the upper right quadrant that I would do it in.
Yeah.
So pretty much what you're describing.
Oh.
But fun fact at home, for people at home who are looking to get into injectables, like most people or most sources should tell you at least when finding your injection sites for any body part. It's usually some kind of quadrant method, and it's like this quadrant. And usually those are fairly accurate. It's just harder to tell sometimes when you're a little smaller. Like I remember trying to do my shoulder when I was really tiny baby. And I was like, so what's technically my rear and what's because you just don't have the muscle mass there yet. And I'm like, is it? Personal
Sometimes it's
experience though.
scary because I hear people doing it still with the old school method, thinking that they have to put like the bubble tea straw, the 23 gauge.
Yeah, see, I'm not buying that though, because if someone told me that, I would be like, you've got to be kidding me. Like,
Right.
I would raise questions. I would not just be like, okay.
But I can see, I can understand it from like the efficiency standpoint because obviously when it's, you know, like thicker, then the fluid just goes in a lot easier. But
I guess so, but I
think
mean,
it's just being lazy. Like it's not gonna take long to use a smaller needle. Just slowly go. And sometimes when the carnitine or like whatever thing hurts, it's because you plunge it a bit too quick.
Yeah.
I've heard that too, so I do make sure to go pretty slow. But that's a valid point too. It's like honestly, for the most part, it's like the little tiny amounts of Primo that I'd be injecting anyway. It's like you don't need a big needle.
A 20.
But it's really the carnitine. Like by the time you get like 600 to 1,000 milligrams, that's like a pretty big freaking.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot. It's not really that much, people.
That gauge of a needle's for like animals, like cattle.
That's yeah, honestly, like,
Ouch.
funny story before we get to the shows real quick is like my first cycle I was raised around horses and stuff.
Oh
so
yeah, I forgot about that.
Shots with like 16 gauge, 18 gauge needles. So in my mind,
Yeah.
it's like all that exists is like a 16 or an 18 gauge. So which one should I use on myself? And my friend was like, "Oh no, we use insulin needles." It's like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we guess even with the carnitine, you're using insulin. You know,
yeah,
you're using it.
yeah, like a
Is
20.
it the half-inch one? Is it half
Yeah,
inch?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's why sometimes it hurts because sometimes it's a little bit too thin. So I just switch to 27 at times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any 27s. I think 28 is the smallest I've got, but
Oh yeah, that's fine also. 28, 27 is okay.
yeah.
Like 25 is the one that they use for vaccines in clinics. The orange. I don't know if it's orange.
Yeah.
But
It should be orange.
I think that one is thick. But I know a lot of the dudes use the 25. To me, it's like I don't
Yeah.
want to use.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway, in hindsight, I guess I could understand why someone would just assume that we got to use a 18 gauger, but
I think when I was in high school, like being around guys who were idiots,
Okay.
I want to say that they definitely bought their stuff from like Tractor Supply.
yeah.
And that's what they would buy because that's all they had access to, you know.
I like to think if I got so far as like loading it up, I would have stopped and had some questions.
That thing's a monster. It's like hole punching through your
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at that point, you're just gauging it. That's
Seriously.
you would probably could full on pull out a chunk of your arm if you shed that through there.
Yeah. Because what do they use? What do they use when you donate blood?
Yeah.
20?
Oh, they use 20?
Oh really?
I thought it was
18?
bigger.
Okay.
18? You know what? I'm 18.
It's got to be 16 or 18 because that sucker's.
I think it depends on what clinic, but I think smallest is probably 18.
Yeah. Okay.
I misspoke with 20. It's definitely 18.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, the only time I use something like that is when I'm drawing the carnitine, and then I just swap out.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's meant for drawing. It's not meant for pinning for the most
Yeah.
part. That's what
Yeah, that's what I end up doing too. Otherwise, he'll be there all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I would still
right.
do that
So
over the big one.
I just threw our top 4 for Euro Muscle Up. We've seen everybody before, so I figured we could just kind of flip through them real quick.
Congratulations to the ladies who competed the past weekend. I'm excited for the upcoming one though. It's the 30 girl lineup.
Whoops.
Oh yeah, the one with the 30-something athletes that's coming up.
Yeah.
Chicago's this weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Chicago.
Chicago's today, actually.
Oh, Chicago's today.
And
Yeah.
Denise
Well,
looks-
today's technically the weekend, part 1.
What was that?
No, I said Denise looks incredible.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All these pictures were like really dark. I really wanted to lighten them, but I figured I shouldn't. So anyway, Denise looks about the same she has the past 2 shows. Phenomenal.
Yeah, but nothing's wrong with it. There's not a thing wrong with that girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's figure.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you guys are willing to fight me on it, but
Yep.
that's what I would pick if I was talking about figure. Like, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Good shoulders, quad sweep. It's all balanced though, top to bottom.
Yep.
Front to back.
So I know some people are going to argue if like the conditioning in her shoulders is too much, but I think in this case, like it's okay, like it's a genetic thing. I do think that she just carries more detail in the delts. Okay, Haley, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a couple shoulder striations, like they don't like hit you in the face, like if your quads are too sharp. You know what I mean?
Well, I think in her case, because she doesn't actually have that grainy look on the shoulders, so I think that's why it's okay. Because in figure, what the rule says, like they want separation, not graininess and striations. So I don't know if you want to consider that striations and graininess, but I don't think it is. I just personally think it's like separation. The only time that I think for her it's okay because her arms actually help to offset it. But if she did, if she had bigger arms, because obviously with bigger arms, and then given her conditioning, there would obviously be more arm detail, and then probably if that was the case, yes, it might be too much. But she's lucky in the sense that the arms, like the muscle, is just nice that it kind of like offsets that look with the shoulders. If that makes sense, that's what I feel.
Yeah, it does. Yep. Well said. And I think Christina looks incredible too. The only thing, it's funny, from the front, I would be totally fine with either of these 2 ladies winning.
Yeah, it's pictures I can see that.
And even from the back, like Christina is incredible, but when you stand next to those glutes, those glutes, like her glutes are good, but it really kind of exposes her. So I think I think she posted that was her nitpick from the judges too, is just a little more ham development and upper glute.
Yeah, that's usually the case with ladies, like even myself, where the glute insertions are a little bit shorter, then we really got to fill up that upper hamstring.
Yeah.
The upper hamstrings and the lower glute. But even so, I don't think it's bad. I think she looks like, I think it's nitpicking already at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like any other show, like if she wasn't standing next to Denise and her razor sharp glutes, I feel like she would win it pretty handily.
She looks really tight in this show, which is great. Yeah, definitely came in better.
I definitely thought she would have had more quad sweep from the side. Sorry, that's why I was quiet. I was just kind of looking at it. Well,
isn't that interesting?
I didn't know maybe she's like turning her little toe out, but it still looks straightforward. So I don't know why. I was just confused.
I guess
she has great quads.
Well, I guess it kind of makes sense because her sweeps are very much. I kind of have this
heavy,
problem, like they're very wide from the front. So I wonder if they're attached a little more like to her side. So then when she turns to the side,
that's what I was kind of looking at too.
Front,
that's got to be the case.
I kind of have that issue with my side pose too. Is like my quads don't really sweep to the front.
Just an interesting thought. Just an interesting thing. Because, yeah, from the front shot, I like both of theirs. If anything, would probably prefer somebody like Christina.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other two, I would prefer Denise.
Yeah, same.
I would love to have like a breakdown though, just to compare the two, like from a judge. If you spoke about how they broke down like the judging for between Denise and Christina.
Yeah, I agree. And I would be surprised if it doesn't really kind of come down pretty close to just the glutes, honestly. Glutes are getting to be important, ladies.
Very.
So you're the glutes.
Yeah.
I love
it. Both of you don't have that problem. That's a lucky thing.
Yeah.
They'll come in. They're just hiding right now.
I thought Vanessa looked very good this show as well.
I love the detail, like the look of the detail in the quads. Like everyone's details are always very different, even though we have the same kind of muscles. So that's what always intrigues me. Like hers, I don't know how to explain it. It's just very pleasing and aesthetic.
Yeah, I agree.
And actually, out of all the top three, I say that Vanessa's quad shapes are like the nicest. I mean, that's my opinion.
Yeah, they're not like she's got a lot of balance, I feel like, between her quads. Like her quads aren't super sweepy like Christina's. Christina makes it work because her lats are so wide as well, so she's really able to like balance it out. I think otherwise her quads would just be very overpowering.
So I think with Vanessa it was probably like a case where maybe she could use a little bit more back density. I'm not sure. I'm just basing off the photos, and I'm not sure if it's. Do you think it's the glute conditioning?
Being a little too sharp.
Yeah.
I was wondering that too, because even if you look like here in the feathering of the quads like that, I don't wonder if she's just a touch too sharp all the way around, because she's got quite a bit of. She doesn't hit a standard back pose, so it's hard to compare in that sense, but she's got a decent amount of striations going on there.
You see a lot of that in Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we should be surprised because we already talked about conditioning from place to place to place, but I bet you that has to be it.
And then whoops, I left my Illustrator text box icon on there. Sorry, everybody. This was Cam. Remember I brought her up a couple weeks ago? This was her, was it her
debut? Is it pro debut?
No, it wasn't her debut.
Honestly, it feels wrong calling it her pro debut.
Yeah, she's like, because I think they posted she's 10 pounds up from her debut or something like that.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Moved up the ranks.
So I think
only feedback is probably she just needs a little bit more upper density.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. So, and then we had Zhanna, Rhotar. So I've got these comparisons. Did anyone know? So I was confused because they had Natasha here in the first call outs, but I think she ended up placing like 6th or something like that. Does anyone know what happened?
Maybe they were comparing her. Like maybe she was one that was kind of on the border for them.
Yeah.
I see them usually do with boys, so I don't see them do with the girls that often.
Yeah.
Where they bring the top player from the second call outs and she gets to play around here with the.
Yeah.
I wish they did that more for all the divisions, to be honest. But
I would be heartbroken because I was so excited for her. I was like, awesome, top 5.
They do it kind of at the end.
Second pro season, and then I watched the results and I was like, what happened?
Were these the only photos from the first call out? So it's not the final call out, I reckon.
Probably, yes. This show, this show had so many freaking pictures to sort through. Like this photographer, every single step these ladies took was documented. So I reached a point where I was
that would be me though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard with cameras these days, but
hey, just shutter or whatever that's called. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, based off the what I see from this show, I guess it just goes down to them wanting smaller girls for figure.
Mm-hmm.
So Wendy always does very well.
To be honest with you, from the front, I would have Wendy first. So I was kind of surprised at first, but when we get to the back shot, it makes sense. I guess I'll just go there now.
She's like, I forgot that was my second one.
Just from a conditioning standpoint, I think it's
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a conditioning thing, isn't it?
But I do prefer her shape and overall look, I think, the most.
Like you're referring to Gabriella?
No, Wendy.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was gonna say at least maybe from the front. Definitely Wendy. Because I looked at the photos as well.
Yeah. Who won this one?
Sandra.
Okay. Okay. It's not that Sandra looks bad though, just from like what we've seen from other shows though. It's the only reason.
Yeah.
Based on from our other shows, I would have thought they probably would have put Gabby.
Yeah.
I like Gabby's look too. I think Gabby, I think gets better every show too.
Well, I don't know if it's, like this photo is taken with Wendy, posing midway. But obviously, if she posed with her arms a little bit closer, and if she brought that conditioning a little bit sharper, I would pick Wendy from the front.
I also wonder, and I know this is like, who am I to nitpick Wendy's posing? I'm not. I'm posing a question. Do you think if she just tilted her, I know she's like kind of angling her hips to probably make her waist look even smaller, but I think she has the smallest waist amongst these three anyway. I know there's a reason for what she's doing, but I'm curious if she stood up just a touch straighter, if it would get rid of that thigh gap just a touch, but still like maintain that little waist. What do you think?
Well, maybe because she's also like bending her knees a little bit to get the quads to push out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gotta ask Wendy.
Yeah, right. It's one of those things where it's like, trust me, I know there's a reason, but I want to see it this way too, so then I can learn.
But that's the wonderful thing about the pro leagues, because everything they do is very intentional, right? So we can just err on the side of she meant to do that.
Yeah.
Versus amateurs, it's like, well.
Yes.
But my brain wants the visual to know, like, okay, so that's why you're doing that, and like learning,
No, if I push my hips back far enough, I can get a gap like that. So there's no way that if Wendy just straightened up a little bit, but I bet you it's to get her quads to flare.
Because sometimes I found like if I flex my glutes in my front shot, it kind of fills that gap too, and even might give you a little upper glute from the front.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Is how I kind of learned it.
So I'm not familiar with Gabriella, but I wanted to say Sandra, it's a comeback after a long hiatus.
Yeah.
From I think was it 6 or 7 years. So if Sandra happens to see this, congratulations for coming back. For Wendy, I mean Sandra and Wendy, they are veterans in figure. So like saying that they are, and it's impressive because they've been doing this for such a long time. It's always easy to say, oh, they're at the top just because they have that reputation. I don't think so. I think it shows a lot. If show after show, you're always in the mix, you're always in the conversation after year. So I gotta give it to these girls. Like, so congratulations.
Yeah.
No, for a second I had to question like what year we're watching here. I haven't seen Sandra or Wendy in a hot minute.
Wendy's been consistent.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I just have paid attention.
Oh, I think she won. Didn't she win
triple last year?
Yeah. And she did it this year, but I think Erica won this year. Well, I know Erica won.
But she would do she used to do, I feel like, several shows in a year where she was like a frequent flyer. And I was like, well, maybe
she's tapered it down just a little bit. Yeah. But I also feel like we've also had so many European shows that have been the focus these past few weeks. And now it's like coming back to.
You're right.
This side. Well, maybe not.
Sandra, though, I knew she had been off stage for a while here.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's making it worse for me. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, like Wendy, Sandra, they were kind of big at the same time.
Yeah.
To see them come back, I'm like, oh, it's like the early 2000s.
Yeah. So.
In a fun way.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Yeah, maybe you think Wendy will do another show?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I see it? I don't think I saw Sandra's name for Chicago, but I don't think I saw Wendy's. I can't remember now.
Oh yeah, the one we literally just talked about, the 30+ girls. I
Yeah.
didn't look and see if Wendy was on there.
Yeah. And I didn't realize this, but there's also a show in Columbia this weekend. That's pretty big.
Oh,
Yeah.
so there are 2 shows this weekend.
Yeah. I think Jessica Reyes is doing,
Oh,
which is weird because I haven't seen a lot of hype, but there was one girl that I knew was making her pro debut this weekend, and I didn't see her on the Chicago list. And then finally yesterday, I saw one of the news channels posting all the girls.
interesting. I wonder how big that lineup is then, since seemingly all of them are going to Chicago.
Yeah, I think it was like 14 to 17, 14, 15, somewhere around there. So,
I mean, not that I'm not happy that both shows get a good little chunk of people, but what if we just combined them all?
yeah. Yeah.
Or if they all went to one show, but then I guess that looks bad because then the promoters get nobody at one show and they're like, eh.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. It's always interesting when these heavy hitters like Jessica Padilla go to like a smaller.
I know, like, honestly, even as I'm saying that, I'm like, please don't quote me because I know I saw it, but I'm like, now I'm questioning which news channel
I'm not gonna hold it against you, but
Yeah.
it'd be interesting if there is any other show besides Chicago that she's doing something besides Chicago.
Yeah, so I'm just like, why didn't I see that?
Because she's won in like Masters pro shows and like the normal. I forgot what show she did last time where she won the pro side just for like regular open, and then she won Masters too.
That could be. That could be. But it's weird that they would have like a master's class in Columbia, Chicago. But
I just love seeing when like the older, I don't want to say old ladies, the older ladies kick the young girls' butts and they do the pro master side and they win there and they come to the other side, they still win.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I like it. Jessica's done it. I've seen her do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think the other one I was surprised about was I think I said the group chat and I was like, I didn't know there were 53 figure shows.
Me
either.
I was surprised.
It feels right to me. It feels right to me. I wonder how many whoops, I don't know what I'm doing over here. Men's open shows there are.
I think what was it? Men's physique was the biggest. 100 something.
No, I was curious how many men's open there are.
I know. I was trying to break them down though, because I think 100 was like the top, and then it was probably like 70, 80 for men's open. If they're combining all the classes too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the men's open, there aren't that many either, which is interesting that there's always like stink about women not having enough shows, but there's.
Was 212 even on there? Because I think there's literally like 6 shows for them.
Yeah.
If I want to be honest about it. I just know a lot of shorty men. Shorty men that go in the 212s.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they belong, is in the little 212. But eventually I think they have to go because what was it? Keon is. They just had 212 show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With Keon? Or coming up?
Keon was what?
I think Keon either just had a show or he's coming up on a show soon.
His guest posing?
Oh my God, is he guest posing?
Yeah, he was guest posing. There's no way he would get on stage.
I know. I was like, Keon did not just do a show, girl.
No.
I do remember seeing him doing a guest posing.
Yeah, I remember it was a guest posing.
No, you're right. I think he was just in town, and then he did something. He signed with somebody else or renewed some sort of contract for sponsorship stuff. All that stuff got me excited. I thought he was getting on stage. It's obviously too early for me to have brain cells. Continue on. Disregard what I said.
So I'm not a fan on whether it's considered too many pro shows because they do complain about the number of competitors at the Olympia. So I know I've heard someone suggest before, and I don't know if I've brought it up, but we can always have a tier for like pro shows whereby maybe just 30 that will qualify people to the Olympia, and then the remaining ones could all be like big prize money just to get people to compete more.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Honestly though, like, okay, so for figure, we're looking at 53 girls. Bikini, there's like 100 plus. Physique, there's like 100 plus. Like, how about just making it consistent across the board? I know, like, they probably have to break it down to, we have this many registered pro cards, so there's some sort of like percentage that they break it down into. But even still, it's like if they keep arguing that the men's open competitors are the ones that bring in all the money, then why are there like 20 open? I mean, maybe there's only good 20 open guys. I have no idea. But 20 open and 100 plus bikini girls.
I am trying to think about it from a money standpoint. I'm like, what if I was the guys running everything? What's going to make me the most money? So if I had, because I usually solve all your answers. So like bikini girls, obviously probably bringing the most money. And they probably do, or at least a bigger majority does more shows per season in that division than other divisions.
Do you think they bring in more audience members?
You know, honestly, I don't know, because you don't see. I think the general public likes them more, but at the same time, you don't see like little schmo accounts hyping up bikini girls per se. They don't have like quote unquote fans.
Do they not have them, or are we just not in that side of Instagram?
There's no way. There's no way.
I think there's a lot of good content out there for bikini girls. I think there's a lot of podcasts.
I think it's just also girls in it though. I think it's just girls that compete in it, and girls who actively like kind of like to have a fitness lifestyle. Like that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
But there's no like fans per se, like people who just are spectators of bikini for the most part, like to the point where it's like big girls, you know?
Yeah.
I consider that more schmo stuff.
I don't know.
I think you could be a schmo bikini.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Can we make a poll? We didn't need to do live polls.
I'm just curious. I feel like we're so like, we have trained our algorithm to show us like figures.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of like bikini girls out there.
When I'm scrolling through, like I don't see anything bikini, but I know it's very much loved and out
But
there.
do you think they like schmo accounts, like how they make for big girls? Do you think they do that for bikini?
Yeah,
they're just not like getting to us.
I don't know. People tell us, yeah.
I'm very intrigued by it. Like I know it's sexualized just like everything else, but is it to the point of like they're not asking a bikini girl to pick them up and like wrestle them?
Yeah. You know, one of my friends is from down here. She's a bikini pro. Shout out Tori, love you girl. She's awesome.
Ask her.
Yeah, I'll ask her. But she is sharing some of her DMs yesterday, and like they're definitely creepy and very mean too. And the thing that blows my mind is like, this woman is absolutely beautiful, and she's got men saying that she looks like a man, and it's like,
oh,
what? Do you need your eyes checked? So I think people are weird no matter what.
Can't please everyone. I think as long as they see like a bit of lines in the muscle, then I think it's too not feminine. It's what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It blows my mind because I'm looking at her like, you are a supermodel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want these people.
Cute.
I was like, I hope these people don't stumble on my account. Like, golly.
And they can stay far, far away from me.
Yeah.
They're gonna hurt my feelings.
But anyway, should we move on to our topic? I'm excited for this one.
Me too. I got my pen and paper ready.
Yeah. Nice. Do you have enough brain cells ready? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a good one.
Well, I know there's a lot of going in the industry right now with like all the peptides and that primo shortage.
Those are good places to start.
Yeah. So just to give everyone like some news highlight, if you don't already know, there's a Mastron and primo shortage going around since the USA and China tariff thing. So if you're getting primo and Mastron very available from your supplier, I'm not saying your supplier is bad, just make sure you do some investigation just to ask, like, when was this batch going on? When did it come around? So I'll just give everyone like a little bit of like a highlight and experience. I didn't know, because I did know of someone who sent like her bloods to me, and she was just like saying like, something is not right over here. And then she was telling me it started when she started using like this batch of primo, and she's been using the same brand like for a long time, but like the blood works just reflected differently, and then there were a little bit of like strange side effects going on. And then we started to realize that it's test inside the primo. So now obviously where I'm at, it's just impossible to. I mean, it's hard to find right now because the USA will be the priority, at least from what I know with the suppliers. So basically, I think your president like cracked down on the whole like fentanyl thing,
Mm-hmm.
and to give everyone an idea, like your Primo and Masteron raws are used to make that drug. So now that, and China is the one that supplies it. So if there is no demand, then there would not be like a Masteron and no demand going on. If you have excess, it's um, probably going to be really expensive. Like my site now, like if there is Primo, well, from one of the guys that I know, if there's Primo, it's $280 per vial for like a 200 milligram per ml mix. Um, but everything else, I mean, I have seen reports of like different brands where someone sent like different brands of like Primo for testing, and it's like either like a mixture of EQ and test, um, full test, a bit of like D-ball, injectable D-ball. But I
That's
think
unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah. So long story short, if you are trying to get Primo and your guy says, "Yep, here you go," just
That's super cheap too. Like it's just the
Yeah.
same price it's always been.
yeah, just be a little skeptical. It could be fine. It could be that he like got it soon and stocked up, or she, I
Yeah.
guess.
Probably not though.
But yeah, but probably
Probably.
not. So
Oh no. You
It's
okay?
definitely
Are you
not. I'm back.
Yeah, and there's always one
Too. Sorry about that. It's very important to me. Please don't buy some janky Primo from your guy that makes stuff in his bathtub at home.
And I think like if it helps, like everyone can always just send their stuff to Zhanna. It's not expensive from what I know, and you don't have to send your whole vial. Apparently you can just put it in like a syringe and 1 ml and just send it to them for testing.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that.
That's
Yeah.
nice. I definitely thought you had to send the whole thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I also had sent the whole thing, and then I asked my boyfriend. He was like, "No, you just have to draw a little bit out."
Okay.
Yeah. So test, don't guess.
Love that.
Mm.
Especially for the girlies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very important.
Let's see.
But I think
else.
this is for girls who are new. But for those who are seasoned, I think all of you should know by now how you respond to Primo and how you look to Primo. So if inside, it's a D ball or a test, come on, you should know. Like sometimes you can just be intuitive and know like it's probably not it, or if it's like NPP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that's the first order of business. Would you like to tell us about your experiences with Retta?
Oh yeah, it's going on a lot now, isn't it? Like you see it all over YouTube, so that's why we're here, right?
So give us the explanation that you gave us in the chat the other day, like just the too long to read, but totally makes sense in our mind breakdown.
Oh, okay, so a little bit of a master class.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that what I want?
I thought we were gonna.
Okay, so just to like obviously like Retta is a peptide. I think you girls have heard of like Ozempic, and the second latest one was Tirzepatide, and then like Retta is like your latest one. The newest one, it's already in phase 3 clinical trials. If I'm not wrong, it's actually also already available in some clinics. So there is research on humans done already. It's basically a triple receptor agonist. But what that means is that it contains like effects on this receptor called the GLP, and then that of the GIP, and then it also gets delivered. No, it's also containing like it also has effects through glucagon in the body. So like to give you an idea, I'll explain it so that everyone has a little bit of an understanding if they're going to tap into that. Okay, so Ozempic is only acting on the GLP, so it's a GLP agonist. The GLP-1, it's basically that's a receptor that's also found in your brain and the gut, right? So when you eat, the GLP receptor in your brain and the gut is activated to release GLP-1, which tells the stomach that we are full, right? And then in the brain, it makes us satiated and actually feel that we are more full. So from the appetite standpoint, then you can kind of like understand that it does blunt the food noise and cravings. Because what happens many times for a lot of competitors, I'm going to prep, and after the show, sometimes you can be so damn full, but your eyes are still hungrier than your stomach, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how people continue to gorge themselves, because we can be full, but we're not satiated.
Mm-hmm.
So Reta does act on the brain, the GLP-1 receptor in the brain, to help you feel more satiated. Basically, there are dopamine. I don't know if the word is reducing. Like basically dopamine blunting effects. So it has also been used to kind of like help people curb like addictions, not just to like their food cravings, but also like, let's say maybe they're trying to come off like hard drugs, smoking. They're looking to use that as something to help them cope with breaking a certain habit, like basically addictive tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a Suboxone.
Yeah. Okay. And then after that, we have the second pathway, which acts on the GIP receptor, and that's found in your pancreas and your muscle cells. So what it does is that Reta will bind to that GIP receptor, and then you'll get your pancreas to secrete more insulin for the same amount of food that you're eating. And then when it binds to the GIP, when the Reta binds to the GIP on the muscle cells, it actually makes your muscle cells more receptive to insulin.
Okay.
So it helps with the nutrient partitioning effects because your insulin sensitivity basically goes up. So with women, this is very useful because, like in general, our nutrient partitioning abilities compared to men are actually not as good. With body fat being a little bit higher, so you obviously with more body fat, you would not be as insulin sensitive to food. And obviously, if you're partitioning food very well to the muscle cells, then you get more GLUT4 translocation, blah, 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 all that stuff to build the muscle and utilize carbohydrates for fuel. And basically, you make more gains, long story short. Yeah. But yeah, Jess.
Good job.
So is this something that individuals are primarily using in like a cutting phase or year round? Is it something like you cycle on and off? If so, like how long? Or is it also beneficial in an off season so you can push a little bit more food but maintain that leaner body composition?
I will get to that part.
Oh, sorry. I thought
don't worry about it. I don't know. It's a great question to lead into it like after that. Right. So like what makes Reta very different from Ozempic and Tirzepatide is that, of course, Ozempic only acts on the GLP receptor, and then Tirzepatide was supposed to be a mixture of the two. So it acts both on GLP and the GIP, but what everyone likes about the Reta now is that because of its effects on glucagon. So glucagon is basically a hormone that you also find in your body to stimulate our liver to actually release glycogen, right? So let's take, for example, especially when you're deep in a cut, when your blood sugar is low, and you're already depleting, your muscles. But basically, when your blood sugar is low, so what happens that your liver glucagon will be secreted, and then your liver will release, because basically your body holds glucose only in two places, either your muscles or your liver. When your muscle cells are full, where it goes is into the liver, right?
Okay.
So, and then only during also that goes to what Jess is explaining with the cut side of things. Like when you're in a cut, you would be more depleted. You would have depleted your liver more with like the glycogen, so less carbs in the liver. So then what happens then is that your liver will release fat as fuel. So that's what people like in this drug, because then you tap into fat as fuel, right?
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that if you're using it in the off season, that is not happening. People need to look at it in terms of like when you're looking at it in basically science, and I think it's the same with training. Don't look at things in like black and white, right? There's a lot of these like processes going on at the same time. So it will also get so what the glucagon does, what the Reta does, is that it also liberates fat from the fat cell as well. So there itself has that direct fat burning effect from the Reta. That's the direct fat burning mechanism it has. So when you're not working out and then you are insulin sensitive, so let's say both of you are using it right now, and myself, like I've started using it, I am not running as much on carbohydrates, but I'm using more because I'm soaking up all the carbohydrates, but I'm running a little bit more, training my body basically to run more fat as fuel. So you keep the muscle glycogen for training, and your muscles can be fuller, but you're also running on your fat as fuel. Yes. So back to like what Jess was saying, like so what dose is good? Clinical dose, as far as I know, it's 2 milligrams a week. But of course, everyone responds differently. So that would be the dose that, if anyone asks me or when my athletes take it, I say we could start at 2. And then we ascertain if it works for them. The thing about Rhotar though is that when it comes to like side effects, when people say, okay, within a week, because half-life is, it takes about 1 week before maybe you feel the effects. And you will feel it. Because when you feel a little bit fuller or you get full very fast. Or, honestly, when I was eating my chow after the fried rice, like I was like, okay, I'm sick of food. But it just clears off very fast. So I was just taking at a dose that was just nice for me when I basically had my cheat meal. So it basically gets people fuller faster at different doses. But usually I would start at 2 with everyone. And if you get the appetite suppression effects at 2 and you're in your off season, then do it at 1 or 1.5. Right? So, and for some people, they don't feel it at 2. And also, like I said, like if you don't feel the effects within a week, wait another week, or maybe wait up to 4 weeks, because these things accumulate shot after shot. So I know that people like really impatient sometimes, and they don't feel it in the first week, and then decide to bump it up, and then really can't eat. I've heard a horror story whereby somebody, I think, mixed up his Rhotar with GH, and he was pinning his whole vial of GH. So his Rhotar was like a 10 milligram vial, and he pinned the whole 10 milligram vial. And I saw this on, like, I think somebody else's podcast. I can't remember who, but I was just thinking, oh my god, you are going to be puking your guts out, because I heard people have done that and they couldn't even drink water.
Really?
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say too. Is it the 2 milligram dose just once a week, or are you splitting that 2 into like a 1-and-1 situation? Like, what's the
Okay, so
half-life of it?
This is a fantastic question. So people sometimes get lazy and only want to do 2 times a week shots. Not that it's wrong if it helps you, but just like drugs, at AAS for that matter, I prefer people to microdose it. And most of the experts out there will say to microdose it because it's always like an introduction of the hormone at a time, so you don't get massive swings in the blood levels, because that's usually what causes the side effects.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I heard too. I think Nick Walker was just talking on the Unwrapped podcast. That's a really good one to watch too. He mentioned microdosing it.
Yeah. So yeah.
So then when you do that, is it something that like you do for X amount of weeks and then cycle off? Or is this something that people are just like staying on because are people just like, not to change the subject, but they kind of are parallel. Are like normal everyday people, not necessarily bodybuilders, just like staying on Ozempic permanently in order to help with their appetite?
Okay, I used to work in a clinic that prescribes the oral version, so that's called Rybelsus, and then Ozempic that was when it came in. Usually these are when it first came out in the clinical setting. These people are people who had to be on for quite a while, because they have a lot of weight to lose, basically. But the dose, for at least for Ozempic, I know like it's a very slow titration upwards. I'm not familiar with Ozempic, so I don't know if there's like a cutoff. I will admit that. But with Rhotar, it is up to you if you want to cycle off it, because as far as I know, okay, for me, appetite suppression effects wear off quick. Like even in the off season, at my highest that I was eating, it was like it would go off after like 2.5 to 3 weeks. So Ian and I were like using it. Ian is my boyfriend, and then he was like, we were saying, okay, we don't get as much the appetite suppression effects, but I feel that the effects on the brain actually do last, because I just think less of food. Like,
Okay.
don't think of having a cheat meal, and then when Justin gives me a cheat meal, I'm like, I don't know what to eat because I know I have to eat for the sake of eating it because he gave it to me for function, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I guess it helps from the mental standpoint. What I want to share with everyone is that don't use it as a crutch. If you're gonna get on Reta, use it as a chance. If you're very food focused of a person and you don't have the best relationship with food, use it to help you fix that. Because at the end of the day, like this is not something that you probably won't be running this till you're 90, right? I mean, you could.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
that's
know.
kind of where I was going at with that question, because I feel like that's kind of the box that a lot of, like, I'm not calling out any bodybuilders, but I think, like, culturally speaking, it's kind of an issue that we're going to start seeing with Ozempic, is people just like, oh, cool, I'll just use the shot and then I won't want to eat. And it's like, well, what's your end goal here? Like,
not
I
maintainable.
don't think it's like I don't want to eat, just that I don't want to eat. I think a lot of the marketing with Retatrutide, Tirzepatide, and Ozempic has gone along the route of take this and you'll lose weight because it's a fat burner. Yes, it has that one direct fat burning mechanism in the sense that it stimulates your fat cells to liberate fat for fuel. That does not mean you are burning fat.
okay,
Fat, like you are running on more fat as fuel, but you might not exactly be okay. It's more of like, it supports mechanisms in terms of nutrient partitioning, and then like if you are eating in a deficit and you're trying to recom, I could see how that would tie in with on top of whatever foundations you are doing.
okay,
If you're gonna eat like shit, eat in a surplus and take it, I don't think you will see much.
yeah, kind of like,
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, when I first started using Retatrutide, I was like peak off season, and Justin did not change my food for like 2 weeks. So like I do it in, and then we were on the same amount of food for like the next 6 weeks. So it was a really good experiment for me to see if there was like a direct recom effect with that. And my waist, I don't want to give it to the drug. My waist, personally for myself, my waist actually really did shrink on the Retatrutide.
Okay. Wow.
So I know it wasn't the food. I knew it was something that I was doing. And I would like to think that it was this. I was eating like 550, 600 grams of carbs. And my blood sugar, I don't know how much is that by the US metrics, but I knew that my fasting blood sugar was far below what's the ideal range. Yeah. But it helps that I'm lean. So obviously, like, if you're fat, then I don't know.
Does it lower blood sugar so much that you kind of need to, like, as you're getting used to using it, you need to be mindful of like when you're eating and training to make sure that, or like maybe not training fasted or anything? Do you need to do anything different to make sure you don't have like a low blood sugar episode, is what I'm trying to
No, I don't think so. Because if anything, the glucagon will secrete the liver to help you liberate. So if you are low blood sugar, then the glucagon on the liver, at least theoretically, it makes sense to me. Then your liver will liberate the glycogen storage for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's arguable in the sense because like it increases the insulin sensitivity, and then you are soaking up the carbs, and then you also have the liver to liberate your glycogen stores, to use like either the fat for fuel or the remaining carbs as well. You would have both. The liver doesn't just do like one or the other. Usually it's either more of the other or one. So I think like sometimes if you eat like shit, then maybe like you're just raising your blood sugar. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess like with the increased insulin sensitivity, then it helps to offset that a little bit. But I think in terms of like what Reta does, the whole idea for everyone to understand is that it helps with like your nutrient partitioning abilities with the body a lot. But don't use it as a way to kind of like offset your bad habits. Yeah.
Literally any drug or peptide or anything.
Yeah, kind of like how, normal people will think, oh, the drugs do all the work, the steroids do all the work, and it's like, not exactly. We know that is not true.
I know a lot of people also worry that this drug, what if food is high off season and I can't eat, and if I'm already struggling to eat. For myself, I first started at 2. I that's why I say like don't get impatient with it, because like 1.5 weeks in, I was like telling my boyfriend I don't really feel it. Maybe I think less of I don't really feel the appetite thing. I think I bumped it to 2.5 and I was not really wanting to eat my food. So I knew that I hit my upper threshold with things. Yeah. So that's why I just went back down to 2. So going back to your question of whether you have to come off, some people experience side effects, and it's not just the appetite suppression side effects. It could be any side effect. For me, what I noticed like per shot when I first started it at night, I would have like acid reflux, but it's not bad acid reflux. It's just that I wake up and okay, I can feel that. What I do, and if that happens for you, maybe you just try to eat earlier in the day, and take some betaine HCl just to neutralize stomach acid, because I took that before I slept and then it was perfectly fine afterwards. Some people do report a bit more like skin hypersensitivity, and I did get that at one point as well, like halfway through, like just particularly this arm, like when I just touch my forearm this way, it just feels like a very mini sunburn.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So if you're gonna use it off season, helpful off season if you ask me, because it can blunt food noise, especially if you're somebody who's still very food focused. Improve your insulin sensitivity effects, but you can always use it at a dose that does not give you the appetite suppression effects, and it does not mean that if you're using it below a dose that not give you the appetite suppression effects means that you're not getting the other benefits. I started using Rhotar because I wanted the other benefits, not really the appetite suppression. And I would continue to use it because to me, like with Rhotar, maybe you are not as hungry, but at some point I feel with Rhotar, the dose actually does creep up because you are not going to experience the appetite suppression effects after a while. And that's me. For some people, it lingers on. I have athletes that they could run to forever and they feel it, but for me, it wears off. But I think research has shown that you actually do have to creep up the dose. And I know that people have reached a point where they are running like 10 to 12 milligrams a week.
Wow.
So to go back to your question on whether you should cycle off or not, I think that's person dependent. Yeah.
Is it something that you think you're going to continue to use like as you push back up and then diet back down? Or do you think I know you can't really answer that because you'll probably figure it out as you go, but is your intention to kind of stay on it through your next push-up phase?
Yeah, because I like the nutrient partitioning effects.
Yeah.
And I think it could be helpful for everyone. It's just that for someone who's maybe like, off season or just in general, like already really, really, really struggling to eat, then I don't know if that's a good idea that that it's worth risking in general. Yeah. But I think it's definitely worth considering, really for the other health benefits that you get. Because you see, like us ladies, we don't push AAS most of the time. So what other pathways can we leverage? Peptides. And I'm not saying they don't come with side effects, but they don't come with the virilization. Yeah. Sorry, I talk too much.
No,
this is your thing.
I was going to say, this is your thing, so we need you talking.
Over.
It's perfect because one of the things that I would always say is like, well, I don't eat anything that's going to blunt my appetite. It's like, I don't want to eat anyway. But everyone keeps telling me like, if that happens, it probably means that you're taking too much. And I think as a lot of bodybuilders just have this mentality of like, more is more, might as well start high. And this definitely sounds like something where it's like, no, just start low and
just start low
and see what
happens. You could even start at 1 milligram.
Yeah.
And just split it a week. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like for all you know, like that be one reason like why a lot of people start to actually stay leaner than they might actually be in the off season. Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But because
it's definitely not
for bodybuilders. It's not just for bodybuilders. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a sub-Q.
Yes.
Compound, right? Okay.
Yeah, I do know that it's something that you don't want IM. Then this goes for GH. I know there's the whole like team IM for GH and team sub-Q for GH. As far as I know, like GH, you actually want it to last a little bit long in the body per shot, be it GH or Reta, because our liver does produce a metabolite. I don't know if it's the liver, I can't remember. But we just don't want clearance too soon before it takes effect. So you want it to be able to, to circulate a little bit longer. Obviously, IM is going to peak faster, but it will drop off faster as well. So I know there are many other mechanisms that go on, but we don't want, in that sense, like, to be cleared off before like most of it actually takes place.
Yeah, after that long podcast on GH, like sub-Q versus IM, I experimented with it IM, and I felt like the only thing I saw was like carpal tunnel syndrome or symptoms start to pop up.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to my training partner too, and he's like, yeah, anytime I've done IM, it's like I just notice more of the negative side effects than any positive ones.
Yeah,
so
it just peaks really quick.
Yeah, so then I switched back to sub-Q, and sure enough, like my hands were feeling fine. So I'm like, maybe I'll stick with sub-Q.
Yeah, speaking of that, like, that carpal tunnel stuff, like I did get it at one point. So I know with a lot of people, like it's not all, I think it's very seldom the case that I hear people who just can't tolerate GH, because I do hear of people who get really bad side effects even on just 2 IUs. But yeah, but it's also like, multifaceted, multifactorial, because are you eating like shit? Because if you're eating like shit, you hold like a ton of sodium, a ton of water, then yeah, that's gonna happen. With GH, is always about balancing the electrolytes.
Okay.
Yeah. Taurine 10 grams, everybody.
Yeah.
And balance the electrolytes with some potassium.
I'm good with those.
Me too. I love my potassium.
Out here in the desert, we need all the electrolytes.
Yeah. They're so important though. And then people are like amazed too with how many things that you take in your body that if you don't have enough water, like some of those just don't work.
Yeah.
Or it's just not very efficient at least. And they're like, I feel like crap. I'm like, well, even creatine, I was like, you need X amount of water really a day for it to be effective.
Yeah.
Let alone taking like a compound or a peptide. Dry scoop era is still a thing. Or was a thing like 5-10 years ago, and people are still doing it.
Yeah.
I still do it sometimes.
But you're probably doing it like here and there with like a scoop of pre-workout or something.
I don't know if like my teammates do this, but because like my Justin has us doing like 5 grams of leucine in a couple of our meals.
She's doing it with an amino acid. That's fine. You can do that.
No, so I got the powder, and the first time I did that, I was like,
"Oh, it's not going to be good. I can tell you that." But
no, and I didn't know, because it's worse. But like I grab water and I like drink, and it doesn't dissolve. So it becomes like cement.
Like none of them do. Any of those in that family. What is it, like the glutamine, citrulline, arginine?
Oh yeah.
All of them are kind of. They don't do that. But I like them in powder form.
Oh yeah, because it's just easy. So I feel like powder just that gives you less GI issues compared to like the tablets. I don't know why. I think it's the bulking agents that they use to hold the compound.
Yeah. And you can just we already take so many other things that I think just putting it like the 5 grams or whatever you're taking into it's just way more. It's cost efficient usually in a powder form.
Yeah.
And the capsules too, like not that I have an issue with capsules, but you have to take like 6 of them to get close to the effective dose of what you need, because they're all under dose too. And it just makes sense to me. Just get powder.
Yeah, it makes it easy. I know what I found to help like wash down the leucine was like Coke Zero, and that's the only thing that
I like a Coke Zero.
Right, yeah.
I love a Coke Zero. Do you guys get those fun flavors in where you're at? Like any of the Coke Zero, like coconut or lime or orange?
Oreo, that's the Oreo one. Yeah, like it was trending for a while. That was like Oreo Coke Zero.
That one wasn't bad. I tried that one.
But it's so similar to Coke Vanilla.
It is. It's on the back taste where you're like, oh, it's kind of. I also tried it, like I said, during like prep, so it's things taste a little different. Things are a little more yummy. Did you try the Coke Zero Oreo, Jess?
I did. I got to be honest with you. I'm not a Coke person.
No.
I love like a Dr. Pepper, especially a Sprite Zero. But I did try the Oreo. Again, I was also in prep. I didn't.
It came out while we were in prep.
Yeah, I didn't taste any Oreo. It just
Mm.
like Coke to me.
It was on the back end. It was like if you took a sip, did that, you're like, oh, okay.
I think maybe I just don't have the appreciation for Coke. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll try any new diet soda. I'll try any new diet on the market.
Disappointed with the Coke coffee.
Oh, Coke coffee.
That was like the coffee thing. And
is it coffee and then Coke flavored, or is it Coke that's coffee flavored?
Like, it's Coke Zero, and then they said like with like.
Oh, did we get that in the States?
I don't think so, but I could see that working.
I would like that. I think.
See that working.
No, you would be so
really.
Yeah, because it tasted like medicine.
I guess. Okay. I guess actually.
Jess might like that though. She likes Dr. Pepper, and that's very medicinally in nature.
I can't believe you don't like Dr. Pepper.
I still like it, but it's medicinal tasting.
Really? I love the strawberries and cream is my favorite.
Do you girls have you guys have A&W and root beer?
Mm-hmm.
And
I like that too.
That is the kind of flavor I don't like. And the Coke Zero coffee.
That would probably taste medicinal to you too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's a root. I think it's sassafras. Is what root beer is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a pop quiz right now.
Yeah.
I think it's sassafras, and that's a root.
Is it? But there's also sassafras soda. So I'm not sure if root beer is related to sassafras or if it is sassafras. Or if in some states it's just called sassafras instead of root beer. I have no idea.
I think it's one of those things, if you didn't grow up with it, just like other things like Vegemite, like in Australia, if you didn't grow up with it, it's nasty to you.
Yeah.
And in America, we grew up with
root beer barrels.
Beer things and like candies and stuff. So to us, that flavor is more dessert in nature and not gross.
Okay, they are not the same thing, apparently.
Oh, did you Google it for me?
Yeah, I just Googled it.
But they're very similar. I think they're very similar. The only reason I know that is because like when I was a kid, I very vividly remember there being like sassafras and root beer. And I was like,
can you tell me what's in root beer?
Let's see. Okay, so
like what they're getting their flavor from?
Sassafras fruit, the root.
So it is one of those, just depends on where you live, whether you call it sassafras or root beer, apparently.
It's okay. Sarsaparilla is traditionally made from sarsaparilla vine's root, but root beer is historically made from the sassafras root.
What is sarsaparilla? Is it a hybrid plant? Or are we mixing something?
Sarsaparilla. There's sarsaparilla, and then there's sassafras root. So these are two different ones, apparently.
Huh.
Okay, there's sarsaparilla.
Okay.
And then there's sassafras.
Okay.
Not related.
Yeah. So, just like it's what it says here.
But I think they're pretty damn close. Like I think they pretty much taste the same.
Well, shoot. I thought I knew. I thought I knew all about the root beer.
Go to the gas stations today and see if they have sassafras soda and root beer. The sassafras is always more like a craft soda in like a glass bottle that I've seen. I'm not an expert. I don't know why I'm talking like I'm an expert. I've seen the two things.
You know what? We grew up in some of these states, dang it. And they have something going on. They know.
Yeah.
Heck, we have whole like A&W place you can get like burgers and stuff. That's like an actual sit down, eat place.
Yeah.
Americans love root beer. I love root beer.
Yeah, I do love a root beer.
I like the ginger beer. I like a ginger beer Coke Zero.
Ginger beer.
Ginger beer Zero. Yeah.
I'd say that makes me sound really mean, but like I'm not surprised that you guys like ginger beers. Like that makes sense to me.
Oh really?
What else? but they're good. Like, but I know some people that don't like ginger.
What's wrong with ginger?
It's very
I-
Asian.
Oh. I thought you were talking about both of us. You're like not surprised that both of us like ginger. I was like, what about-
No. I was singling Tanya out specifically. No, I know how so many people don't like ginger, and I love ginger beer. I love ginger sodas. When you
I
get
used to
sushi, I like the little ginger.
I
I'll eat
used
it.
to love making this little tea elixir that was just like honey, ginger, a splash of like really high quality apple cider vinegar, and you could either drink it like hot or cold. It was so good.
That is like considered a home remedy for like GI tract.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe even for like a flu.
Yeah. I think that's how I learned it. My bosses at my very first job at a high school were always drinking it, but it's good.
If you like ginger, it's good for you.
And it's good for you if you like that little like zing of.
I know I don't want to say spicy, but that's what all the white people watching this are thinking.
I guess
spicy.
if you use enough honey, then it wouldn't be spicy, and that's why you can kind of adjust it to your taste, to your liking.
No, it's good.
No.
You can do for like inflammation purposes too.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, ladies, I've about gotta hop off here.
Yeah, she's got to eat.
Yep.
Big day. High day.
Hey, big day. I better start now.
Okay, and if people have any questions on like the Retta or anything, you can always drop it down in the comments, or you can message any one of us, or check with your
Tell
coaches.
us exactly what compounds do you guys have questions about, or else I'm just going to run through ones that I've used because that's the ones I have experience with.
Yep. But cool. Thank you for your knowledge, Tanya. That was
we loved it.
Oh, that was easy to understand though, and it's not too complicated.
No, you did.
Like concise breakdown, because like all these podcasts that are coming out, like they're great, but sometimes they're like 2 hours long just talking about Retta, and it starts to go, which is great, but it takes me like 5 times to watch it before I start having.
I think a lot of it also is targeted towards people who already have like a baseline understanding.
Yeah,
so it's not, that's why it's not like
it's either too detailed or too generalized.
Yeah.
But cool. All right. Well, thank you, ladies.
Let's take a selfie, quick one.
Okay.
Okay, easy stuff, girls. All right. Enjoy your day.
Tanya, have a good night. Haley, have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Good night and good morning to you guys too. I know we'll yap in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Bye. Talk to you later.